Hello, everybody. I know that wasn't an hour break, but Jesus fuck. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. Another lunch comes. I trudge up the stairs to the rooftop like a condemned man. Rin is up there, but Emmy is not. Immediately, I worry that something's happened to her. Maybe the lack of sleep finally made her collapse or something worse. She seemed pretty tired after our morning run. Maybe she fell asleep and didn't even make it to class. Hey, Rin, where's Emmy? In response, I get a rather penetrating look from Rin, and something approaching a frown appears on her face. Is that information really important? I think so. She's usually here with you, isn't she? I don't know. I have no way of being sure. I can confirm that she is, in fact, usually here with you when I come up. Well, she isn't now. Does that worry you? Kind of. Hmm. That seems to end the conversation, and the point becomes moot anyway, because Emmy bounced through the door with her usual energy. His dad was kind of worried about you, Emmy. I don't think he can decide, or maybe I just don't believe him. But I think I'm gonna go somewhere less awkward now. Oh. I'm so surprised by Rin's being so... I'm so surprised by Rin's being so suddenly forward about it, well, anything at all, that I merely watch her head through the door. Emmy is similarly surprised, and colors slightly crimson, as she stares open-mouthed at me. It occurs to me that I should probably say something, if only to break the awkward silence that has suddenly descended. It's because you weren't here yet I was, worried about it. Why? You're usually here, so I was worried that something had happened to you. This isn't the first time I've been late, you know. Did you get worried all the other times too? Not really. Amy seems slightly amused by this. I don't know why, but that kind of pisses me off. So why was this time an exception? Maybe it's the light teasing tone of the question, but something in her response pushes me to be honest, though I can't help snapping at her when I say it. Because you've been worrying me since dinner at your house, that's why. Well, now it's out in the open, and Emmy's eyes are wide, and she looks like she wants to bolt, but she doesn't. Still on that, I see. What? Think I'm supposed to forget about it? You threw me out of your house. We've been going on for almost a week pretending it never happened. I didn't see you bring it up either, you know? I know, and I'm sorry that was the case. We have to address it or we'll just keep up this whatever it is we've got right now. It's killing me to look at how you look right now. Did you know that? Those circles under your eyes and that distracted look in them? And I can't help worrying that I've caused it somehow. You haven't. Trust me. Well, I haven't helped either. I keep pushing you to tell me things you aren't ready to tell me. Maybe I was wrong to try getting your mother to help me out, but I've been so worried about you that I don't know what else to do. Well, you don't have to worry about me anymore, okay? I think it's pretty clear we're not right for each other. So maybe we should just stop? Her face is twisted up as she says this. Like, she doesn't want to say it, but forces herself to anyway. You don't actually want that, do you? Heck, you can barely bring yourself to say it. Anyway, it won't keep me from worrying about you. I care too much about you to just stop on command. You don't want to tell me what's wrong? That's fine. But I won't stop trying to help you, even if it's just standing by you. Stop saying that. She's shaking now. And as she looks at me, I can see she's afraid and frustrated, and a million different things all at once. I shake my head slowly and take a few steps toward her. You know what your mom told me? She told me that you'd never ask for help, because you know that you're strong enough to get through anything on your own. But that's not the full story, is it? Her eyes go wide, and she takes a step back. I keep going, because I think I've finally figured it out. Something tells me I won't get another shot. I put it off for far too long as it is. There's no harm in having someone help you. Unless you're worried about needing help in the first place, you're scared, aren't you? Because of... I trail off. Because I don't know for certain what happened to Emmy's father, and I don't want to jump to a conclusion. Well, never mind why, but it's okay to be afraid. You've been running from it and from me for so long, even though you know eventually you'll have to turn around and face your fear, and I'm going to be there to help when you do. I won't stop, because I don't think you'd want me to. You can understand that sort of determination, can't you? I can see that I've gotten through to her, but she quickly falls back to anchor to try to push me away again. Back on your white charger, Hizao. Gotta help the poor cripple face her emotional problems. What do you know about me? And what I've already had to face? You think 2 months of learning to walk again was fun? But I did it. And after that I had to... For a moment, it seems as if she's going to say something else, but she cuts herself off. And after that, you don't think you can get past your fear, Emmy? Emmy, I can't fathom what you've been through. But to come through it and still be the sort of girl that you are, well, it makes me think that you got even more strength than you think. So I'm not going to help you because I think you need rescuing. I don't want to be a knight rescuing the damsel in distress, but even knights helped each other out, you know. I want to help you, even though I know you can do it on your own. For a moment, it looks like Emmy's going to break down completely, but she doesn't. Tears run down her face, but she stares at me steadily. Why are you trying so hard to help me? I'd say that's because I owe you one for helping me out when we first met. But that wouldn't be the truth. The truth is, I want you to be happy because I love you. Have I ever said that before? We've been in a really late relationship, and it's been pretty obvious that I love her. But did I actually speak the words? What did you say? Say it again, savoring the feeling of being able to say it at all. Being able to say it and mean it. Emmy seems stunned. I said I love you, Emmy. I love you. Just you. That makes me want to stand by you no matter what you have to face. I'm wrapped in a fierce hug then, as Emmy begins to sob against my chest. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about everything. I'm so scared as I'm so scared of losing you, and I love you too, but I can't lose you, and I'm just so sorry. I hold her quietly, shushing her until she settles down. She steps back a little more composed. Will you come with me tomorrow? Back to my house? There are some things I need to show you if I'm going to do this. Of course. Maybe this time we can leave together instead of separately. Emmy grins. A sudden flash of brightness that seems more genuine than anything I've seen in the past week. Yeah, maybe. The lunch bell rings, and I curse the universe's poor sense of timing. Are you free tonight? We can talk more then, right? Emmy shakes her head. Sorry, Hizao, but I'm still helping the track team. Plus, I don't think it would be good if we talked this overnight. I'm going to be too tired to think properly, and I want to be able to tell you everything without screwing it up. You can wait, right? Even now? There's a bit of fear in her voice. I smile, and rest a hand on her shoulder. Okay. I'll be waiting. Emmy gives me a quick kiss before she heads for the stairwell. Thanks, Hizao. See you tomorrow morning. Wouldn't miss it. I head down the stairs with the feel of her lips on mine, suddenly aware of how much I've missed that sensation. I'll have to remember to thank Rin for getting us to talk to one another. Although, it's possible she won't even realize what she's done. Still, if not for her, I doubt I'd have ever been able to confront Emmy again. I guess I needed more help than I realized. Tomorrow, however, I'll need to stand alone through whatever Emmy's trying to work herself up to doing. I'll be up to the task, I hope. Honestly, I think we might be close to the ending, guys. because I don't remember much else of Emmy's route. So I think we're probably done. Anyways, the morning sun is bright through my open window, and the sound of my alarm quickly has me up and about. I slept surprisingly well last night, secure in the knowledge that I've got another chance with Emmy. If I can just keep myself from doing anything stupid, maybe I'll find out what's been eating her recently. I have a few educated guesses, but nothing concrete, and certainly nothing that I'm going to say to her. I'd much prefer to have her tell me herself. Although I can't help remembering the nurse's warning, that I might not like what she has to say. Do I really need to know that badly? What if there's something awful that makes me repulsed by her? Can I really say that I'm prepared to handle what she has to say, regardless of what it is? Emmy said she wanted to tell me without screwing it up. What the hell did she mean by that? What's there to screw up? I suppose there's not much use worrying about it, though. I'll find out today. It occurs to me that I really, really need a run this morning, to clear my head if nothing else. Emmy is waiting for me as promised, looking a little haggard, but otherwise bright and cheerful. Much more so than any previous day this week. Hizao, you're late. I wave my hand dismissively. Nonsense, you're just early. Emmy grins back, and it feels like we're finally back to where we should be with one another. Except now, Emmy, not just me, wants to take another step forward. Although a part of me worries that she'll back out at the last second. Hurry up and stretch, Hizao. I don't want to miss the bus. The bus? I said I wanted you to come back to my house, remember? And I promised Mom we'd be there in time for lunch, so I wanted to hurry. Early start, huh? It's more for my mom's benefit than anything else. Ah well, that's okay. I unsuccessfully try to guess what Emmy has planned shortly before realizing that it doesn't matter that much to me. I quickly go through my worn-up routine, while Emmy bounces impatiently on one foot to the other. She really does seem to want to get moving as soon as possible. The run is over so quickly, I can barely believe that I haven't fallen over dead. Afterwards, Emmy set a blistering pace, and I, in my foolishness, kept up with her. Well, until the last few laps. I had to slow down just in case, but I don't mind, and Emmy's waiting patiently for me when I finish. As patiently as she can wait anyway. Finished? Good. Come on. Grabbing my arm, she practically rushes me down to the nurse's office. You seem in a hurry, Emmy. Trying to catch the early bus? Yeah, I told Mom I'd be back for lunch. Well, I'll take care of you first then. But Hizao's gotta come with me too. The nurse raises a single eyebrow at this statement and peers at the two of us searchingly. Really? Today, huh? Emmy's response is a nod, followed by a surprisingly shy grin. Well then, we'll make this quick. Emmy enters the nurse's office, and I patiently wait outside for her to be finished, wondering just why the nurse seemed to be surprised by Emmy's declaration. You know, as we are approaching the end of this route, I'm gonna miss the nurse a lot. I mean, he does appear in some of the other routes, but like, he's not like a major character like in this one. I like the nurse. Plus, we're not gonna see any more science club stuff, so say goodbye to that. I feel like I'm missing out on some joke or the significance of today, beyond the fact that it's clearly significant in some way, of course. True to his word, the nurse has Emmy out of his office surprisingly quickly, and I take her place after promising to meet up at the front gate. The nurse takes my pulse and listens for a bit. Your heart beats faster than usual. Been pushing yourself again, have you? Well, Emmy seemed in a rush to get through the run, so... I'm not surprised. Today is rather important to her, you know? I suspected that could be the case, but I have no idea why that's the case. She hasn't told you? Interesting. So you're not going to tell me either then? No, I'm not. I suspect that Emmy has her own plan for explaining today to you. And I don't want to mess with that. You'll find out soon enough, so what's the rush? Now as for your heart, I would take it easy for the rest of the day. No spontaneous races or anything like that, got it? Got it. She won't have her running legs on anyway, right? No. But if you think something like that is going to stop her... Good point. I don't think it'll be much of an issue today, of all days, but still. If he's trying to reassure me, he's doing a terrible job. I'm quickly becoming more and more worried about what today could be for. Like suddenly finding out that Emmy's in a cult or something. At the same time, if today is such a big deal, and Emmy wants me to be with her for it, then maybe she really does want to grow closer to me. Maybe this will be the answer to all the riddles, to all the sleepless nights, and all the sudden mood swings. Either way, I barely remember to thank the nurse before taking off as quickly as I dared for my room, to get a shower and to throw on some decent-looking clothes. If today is as important as it seems to be, I should dress appropriately. Emmy, of course, proves me wrong as I reach the front gate, wearing her usual shirt and shorts. So at least I know it's not a terribly formal affair, whatever it is. You're early, Azao. Not as early as you, eager are we? Emmy cheekily pokes at her tongue. The bus stop isn't very crowded at this hour, which seems to please Emmy, and we end up relaxing a little bit as we wait. We sit in silence for a while, but I can tell that Emmy's trying to work herself up to say something. I don't have anything to say myself, so I sit waiting for her to talk. It doesn't take too long. So, I'm sure you're curious as to why the nurse thought it was weird for me to be bringing you along today. I was a bit... yes. But if you're not ready to tell me... Emmy stops my silence by placing a finger on my lips. Don't tempt me, Azao. I want to tell you this, but I'm just as uncertain as how to go about it. I don't want to keep delaying or deferring. I just want to be able to say it. So say it. You know? It's not going to be that easy for me, Azao. So treat it like running. Warm up to it with something small and easy, and go from there. But don't go too fast, okay? I'm a patient man, and I can wait for you to get to it. Emmy seems to consider my words, weighing them against what is probably a desire to get it over with. I will admit, as much as I keep telling Emmy to take her time, I wouldn't mind her getting it over with either. But somehow, I know that Emmy probably needs more time than the bus ride will provide to get it all out, whatever it is. Yeah, maybe you're right. The bus stop probably isn't the best place for this anyway. But just to make sure that I don't go back on my word, I'll at least say this. She takes a deep breath, lets it out, and after a moment she says in a low voice, "We're going to see my dad today." Just let that sink in. The words hang in the air, and I could see that Emmy's afraid that I'll panic and disappear in response, which a part of me almost wants to do. But that would be stupid of me to back out, or to suddenly abandon the promise I made to be there for Emmy when she needs me. The nurse thought it was so weird of her to bring me along. She doesn't bring anyone along, or at least, I'm willing to bet she hasn't before today. The day seems to take on an even greater significance. What has it taken Emmy to even get this far? And why is that the best I can manage as a response? Yeah? I don't know what I should say. Nothing, I think. Just promise that you're going to come with me. Of course. You know I will. Emmy smiles wanly, looking a little relieved. Good. In that case, we better get going. The bus pulls up just after she finishes the sentence. Vague memories of my first trip out here come to mind as I step off the bus. But unfortunately, they're too vague to be of any use. I will be the first to admit that I don't quite recall how to get to Emmy's house, so I let her lead the way. She seems content to walk in silence. I myself have no idea what I could possibly say. The two of us arrive at her house having said nothing since getting off the bus. Emmy's mother opens the door and doesn't seem surprised to see me standing next to her daughter. I expect that Emmy would have phoned ahead to let her mother know of the change of plans. Emmy, Hazao, you're just in time. Lunch is about ready. Great. I was afraid we might be running late. As fast as you were going this morning? I doubt there was much of a chance of that. I certainly hope she wasn't too much of a bother, Hazao. She tends to get a little paranoid about being on time when food's involved. I hadn't noticed. This earns me a swat on the arm from Emmy, who, despite the serious nature of our conversation on the bus and the almost brooding quiet walk, has quickly become cheerful again. Probably to keep her mother from worrying about whatever it is Emmy plans to tell me later. Miss Abarzaki ushers us in, and in short order, we're around the table devouring lunch. I hadn't realized how hungry I was until I got here, but for once, I seem to be eating almost as much as Emmy. Goodness, it's a good thing I made so much. The two of you are acting like you haven't eaten in days. I skipped breakfast this morning. Me too. Had to catch the bus, I assume? That, and I figured you'd make so much food that it wouldn't matter if I skipped breakfast. Well, it's good to know that I'm predictable. Emmy nods enthusiastically, and conversation falls off again, as we very nearly clear the table of anything edible, and is a testament to the sheer amount of food on offer that we don't finish everything. I lean back in my chair with a sigh and thank Miss Abarzaki for the food. I'm glad you liked it, Hazao. Now has Emmy told you where we're going? Yeah, sort of. Is it far from here? Not really, but we'll drive there to save time. It closes kind of early. I nod in assent and stand up, ready to go. Well then, shall we? Miss Abarzaki nods and leaves the room to grab her keys. Emmy, I notice, has started to fidget nervously. Second thoughts? Emmy smiles tightly at me and shrugs. She's fallen silent again, which probably means that I'm right, and she's starting to regret bringing me along. Not that I blame her. She's done such a good job of shutting me out that I doubt it's easy to suddenly open up. Honestly, I'm worried that she's forcing it. But she said while waiting for me on the bus that I'm not supposed to give her a chance to back out. Well, I promised to go with her anyway. I suppose there's not much of a choice. I can't go back on my promise, and she can't go back on hers. I just hope the both of us are up to it. We're off. Emmy's mother blows through the dining room and collects the two of us and heads out the door at a brisk pace. Now I know where her daughter gets it from. The car pulls up at the cemetery gates, and I feel Emmy tense up beside me. I reach over and give her hand a comforting squeeze, which causes her to relax a little. Emmy's mother doesn't follow us, explaining that she prefers to visit the grave alone. Emmy steps through the gates and looks back, as if to make sure I'm still there. We step into the cemetery. I don't feel comfortable in cemeteries. Gravestones litter the ground, each one serving as a reminder that someone used to be alive and is no longer. How many died young? How many were as old as I am now? When do I wind up with a marker of my own? How much longer do I have left? The concept of not waking up, not seeing Emmy anymore, is not a happy one. It frightens me, and I nearly turn around the exit right then and there. I don't want to go among dead people. I don't want to see their stones and think about who they were or what they could have been if they only had more time. Then I look at the girl next to me. My resolve returns. Emmy's striding purposefully down the path, eyes clear, setting a pace isn't very that's very nearly a jog. The sooner we get there, I suspect she thinks, the better. We're here. The gravestone. Wholly unremarkable in everything except for the name etched on it. The grass has grown up around the base. Emmy's eyes are riveted to the stone. After a few moments, she turns around, looking surprisingly calm, yet solemn. Pink's not actually my favorite color, you know. Oh, what? I'm warming up to it. Ah. People tend to think that pink's my favorite color. I think that's because they like strawberries. Even though those are red, they just assume pink's the right color for strawberries. And that is my favorite color. But it's not. I'm too polite to tell anyone otherwise, of course. But it's not the kind of thing worth getting worried about. But I'll bet even you thought pink was my favorite color. Blue. That's my favorite color. My mom and my dad are the only two who know about that. And now you do too. Thanks for telling me, I think. You're welcome. There's a pause. There's a pause as she considers what to say next, drawing a quick breath. I can't carry a tune to save my life. I can hum, but actually singing a song is something I've never been able to do. I don't mind because I'm not a fan of karaoke anyway. Well, that's one potential date idea out the window. People all think that I'm a really popular and friendly person, but I only have a few close friends. Probably because I keep everyone in the dark. But I think it's also because I hate the idea of losing a close friend. There aren't many people worth the risk. I'm terrible at saying goodbye. I sometimes think that I only run because it's what I used to do with my father. You're not my first boyfriend. I dated a guy for a long while during my second year at Yamaku, but in the end we broke up because I didn't want to get closer with him, and he couldn't live with the distance between us. Her rate of speaking increases slightly, as if she's rushing towards the finish line. I'm actually 1 year older than you. Everybody thinks I'm younger because I'm short, but I had to skip 1 year of school because of my accident. They initially thought I was paralyzed when they pulled me out of the wreckage. I lost my legs already, but they were afraid that I wouldn't be able to use what was left of them. After surgery, it was clear that their initial assessment was mistaken. I couldn't feel my legs because of shock, short-term paralysis due to the other trauma I experienced. My recovery was one of the fastest they'd ever seen, or so they told me. I never found out that they were serious about that, or if they told that to all the other patients learning to walk again. She pauses, gathering herself for one last effort. 8 years ago, I lost my legs, and I lost my father as well. He died on his way to the hospital, and I didn't get to go to the graveside until 2 months later. I couldn't attend his funeral. I'm so sorry. Don't be. That's what everyone says, that they're sorry. I hate hearing that. Like anyone could have done anything to change what happened. You know, the best piece of advice I got, these things happen. I don't remember who said it, but I guess they didn't have anything better to say. But it's true, you know, these things happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. They aren't necessarily planned, and they aren't always bad, and they aren't always good, but they are. So I made the decision that I would live without worrying for the future. And to be sure that I never had to say goodbye again, I decided I wouldn't let people get close to me anymore. After all, they could be taken away at any time, you know that? She laughs, a little bitterly. Her eyes start to well up with tears, and I step forward to embrace her. But she holds up a hand to stop me. I'm not finished. A deep breath, and she continues. It worked pretty well until I met you and saw you were trying to adjust to stuff here. So I thought I'd help, and you were so nice and I couldn't help, and I just... The tears are flowing now. She accepts the embrace this time. The rest of her sentence is mumbled into my chest. I tried not to fall for you, but I did, and then I tried to keep you distance, like with my first boyfriend, and I couldn't, and I just so scared because I don't want to lose you, and I might anyway. Hey, I'm still around, right? And maybe I won't be forever. But don't you think it'll be fun while it lasts? Neither of us could survive the day. There could be a bus crash or something, but as long as I know of it, as long as I know that I've been with you, I don't think that it matters. A sudden thought strikes me, and I can't help laughing. My condition has scared me of dying so badly that I immediately seized on the opportunity Emmy presented to improve my odds of living longer. But without Emmy, would there have been any motivation to keep up with my running? It hits me that Emmy is the reason I want to go running every day, so I can spend as much time with her as possible. Emmy looks up at me, confused. We'll go on living until we stop, and when we stop living, we'll be able to know that at least we had time together. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because I love you, Emmy, and right now that's enough for me. Emmy smiles through her tears and steps back from me. You know, it's funny. What is? I thought the best way to live in the moment was to do it alone, but now I don't think I'd have it any other way either. I'm glad I met you, Hazal. Well, these things happen. Emmy and I stay by the grave for a while, and Emmy pays her respects to her father. When she's ready to go, we exit the graveyard side by side. Emmy's mother drives us back to Yamaku. The trip back is very quiet. We wave goodbye as the car drives off, and I glance down at the girl leaning on my arm. How are you feeling? Emmy shrugs, non-committally. I'll be fine. Come on. Let's go. We pause outside the girls' dorm, and I turn to face Emmy, ready to say goodbye. Why don't you come up for a while? Okay. The walk up to her room is in silence. I'm not sure why I supposed I'd be turned away at the door. I guess I just assumed she'd want to be alone. Her mom, the nurse, hell, everyone who knew the significance of today seemed to think it best to leave Emmy alone. But she took me to the graveyard with her. She told me the whole story of what happened on that day she lost her legs. She wanted me around. The significance of this does not escape me. Emmy opens the door and steps into her room, not even bothering to invite me in, holding the door for me expectantly. I step in, and the door swings shut behind me. Can I ask you for a favor? Sure. Can't guarantee I'll do it, but... Emmy giggles and pulls me into a kiss that starts out soft, but deepens into something almost desperate. Stay with me, please. Her voice has dropped to a whisper. The question is barely audible over the sound of my own breathing. There's something about the way that she asks that question. The hesitancy in it. The quiet voice that makes me think she doesn't mean tonight. No, she means exactly what she said. Stay with me. Not tonight, or forever. Because both of us know there's no such thing as forever. There's no time limit to her request. There's just the request. The favor. Can I do that? Can I stay with her? Of course. We embrace again, Emmy guiding me towards her bed, stepping backwards with care, until she sits down on the edge. I collapse next to Emmy, who almost immediately curls against me, smiling. For a while we lay in silence, savoring the feeling of being next to one another. Emmy is the first to speak. Hey, Hazal? Thanks for coming with me today. I smile and plant a kiss on her head. Of course. My pleasure. Emmy snuggles closer, and I could feel her breathing begin to slacken as she begins to drift off to sleep. Just as she's about to fall asleep, she wakes up enough to mutter a single sentence. I love you, Hazal. Then she's out like a light, leaving me feeling like I'm on top of the world. I draw the slumbering Emmy as close as possible, pull the covers over us to keep the chill off, and fall asleep as happy as I've ever been. The morning light seems to reach further into Emmy's room than it does into mine. This results in my waking up earlier than I would have if I've gone back to my room last night, as had previously been our routine. I did not realize it until this morning, but this is the first time we've actually spent the night together. A small movement from my partner's still slumbering form causes me to look to the side. Hair splayed across her face, Emmy continues to sleep peacefully curled up next to me. It's slightly weird seeing her without her trademark twin tails. There's also a look I can get used to. The small size of the beds here necessitates her curling up, but I'm pretty sure she would have done so anyway. The covers are nearly over her head, and I smile as an errant strand of hair causes her nose to twitch slightly. Unable to help myself, I draw her a little closer, a move which she seems to think is a good idea. Her steady breath raises a trail of goosebumps on my chest, but I don't mind. I'm no longer tired, but I do not feel a need to move from my current position. Emmy's warm body in repose against mine. It's far too comfortable to move. I gaze up at the ceiling and consider how it is that we've got to this point. We've been close for a while, but not this close. It seems like only yesterday that she ran into me in the hallway and after apologizing, decided to take an interest in my well-being. But that grew into something else, which at least I was not expecting. One thing is for certain. Having found Emmy, I will try as hard as I can to not lose her. My morning musing is interrupted by a further movement from Emmy. Her eyes flutter open, and she seems briefly confused by my presence in her bed. Then she smiles happily and sits up, her face looking down at me. Good morning, Azal. I sleep well? Yeah, I did. Exhausting day yesterday, you know? I think back over yesterday's trip to the graveyard. Yeah, glad to hear you slept well. How'd you sleep? Well enough, although you kept hogging the covers. This earns me a shove and a stuck-out tongue. I chuckle, and Emmy giggles a little. We fall quiet for a while. I soak up the feeling of how right it all seems. Waking up with Emmy by me, cramped into a bed made for one person. Something I could get used to. Hey, Hazal? Thanks for sticking around. No problem. Saved me the walk back anyway, right? This draws another giggle. But then Emmy's expression turns serious again. No, really, I kept trying to push you away because I thought that was the right thing to do, and you stuck around through it all. I haven't made any of this easy for you, but you stuck it out anyway. So really, I mean it. Thank you. She punctuates this by giving me a kiss, pulling back and looking at me with an expression of affection. I reach up and ruffle her hair, smiling all the while. I'm stupidly lucky, I think, to have come through everything after my heart attack. Somehow have found this girl is nothing short of a miracle. You're very welcome, Emmy. I couldn't bear the thought of giving you up. I'll even continue to stick around if you want. I'd like that. That settles it then. I don't know for how long my heart will keep working. I don't even know what I'll do after this year is over, apart from going to university. As long as Emmy's around, I think I'll be okay. I've managed to help her, and she's managed to help me. If we keep doing that, we'll be okay, I think. So, Hazal? What did you want to do today? Honestly, I'm gonna let the credits play. Can you stand up for yourself? Emmy's good ending, yeah. It was... So that was the first ending that I got. So, yeah. Wait, does it have spoilers? No, I'm pretty sure those are, yeah, I'm pretty sure those are beta images, like, stuff. So, yeah. You know, this game was originally released in 2012, and I think I found it around... It was around 2016, I want to say. Yeah, I was in, like... Yeah, it was around 2016, and, I was in... Honestly, you know, as much as, like, you know... But honestly, I'm not sure what to say exactly, but hey. So we got all these here, and let's see. So one thing I could do is I can immediately load back and just go back over the choices and, you know, get the possible bad ending and stuff like that. But you know, let me look at the extras real quick. So jukebox. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just need 3 more pieces of music for the jukebox. Gallery. So yeah, these are prologue images. So yeah, and actually, wait a second. Okay, this is weird. Okay. Alright. So yeah, you know, there's a bunch of stuff, and otherwise, in all honesty, I think Emmy's route is a good route to start up on. You know, I think it's one of the better written routes. Plus, like, you know, I think it's easily the best outcome for Hazao, because, you know, like, not only is he you know, actually taking care of his health and not making sure he's not gonna die young, but you know, he has a potential like career in education. He has like all these things going for him in this specific route. Plus, I do find it engaging. Not gonna lie. So honestly, this is probably one of the better routes in this game. I'm not sure which route I would want to do next after this, though. I think I'm just gonna, like, do something randomly and... Wait a second. Am I just missing one scene? What? How? I didn't make all the choices. How am I missing one scene? Okay. So, like, so yeah. Basically, what's gonna happen is, you see the names up here. There's Aniko, the, scarred girl from the beginning of the game. Lily, the blind girl from the beginning of the game. You know, these two are kind of together, I guess. There's Rin, which we've seen her a lot this route. So, yeah. And then there's Shizune. In all honesty, yeah. So I have a few options. I could, you know, go back, get every possible... I mean, yeah, I'm just, like, a little surprised. Why didn't I get... Why is there just one scene missing? Hold on. Hooray for socks. Yeah. Honestly, even if the, like, even if, like, the extra options don't result in, like, any other, like, scenes or whatever, I think I'm gonna go back and still choose them, because, like, I'm guessing this specific spot here is the bad ending. I know, because I've seen this route before, and this route has a very particular bad ending, so, anyways. Actually, do all the routes have bad endings? I don't remember. Uh, let's see. Hanako has a bad ending. Rin has a bad ending. Shizune has an ending where you cheat on her, but anyways. So, I don't know. Who knows? But, like, keep in mind that this was, like, made by, like, 4chaners, so it's like, what? Like, some of the weird options in this game are like, huh? So, yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for episode 14. And, episode 15 will be about me going back and looking at all of the extra different scenes that I didn't get in the Emmy route, and then I'm going to, I guess, go through the prologue again. Right? I mean, there's one specific choice that I didn't save through, and I'm kind of interested in seeing if that leads up to an extra scene or something. So, yeah. Well, anyways, goodbye, and have a nice time. Thank you.